Hi, Alan SoCal. I've got a review for an item that the minute I took it out of the box, I was impressed. This is the COMAN Tripod Dolly. I don't know if you've ever owned one. I've been in photography, well, some of my reviews I talk about it, but since high school, and every now and then could have used a tripod dolly. One of the biggest issues for me was, and I'm sure you've experienced it, you pick up the tripod, you move it to a new location, the legs on some of the cheaper tripods are going to close a little bit depending on how the legs are supported. So a dolly would have been actually an upgrade to the tripod, if for no other reason than to provide a stability to the three legs, ergo tripod, and to hold them firm in position. Some of the lightweight tripods that I have to this day, and many that I've reviewed on Amazon, don't have the utility of what this dolly provides. Forgetting the legs, just imagine that on an inexpensive tripod you could clamp onto the legs, the three legs, and hold them together with a triangular support such that the legs would not move outward anymore or come in. So that is one function that not a lot of people think about. Everyone is just immediately thinking, wow, it's got wheels, I can push it around. And yes, that is the case. But let's just take a quick look at this dolly and let's see just how much more than just a brace it is. Okay, let's start with price and get that out of the way. The vendor page right now at the time of the review is showing this as $49.99, $50. But then they follow it up with a 20% discount coupon. So the net cost right now is a tidy $40, which I thought was a pretty darn good value. Now, that aside, the only other note I had on the vendor page copy that I always make was heavy duty, but small wheels. So there's my review. Heavy duty, but small wheels. But we haven't really taken it apart. This is the fabric case. It's not really fabric, as you well know. It's a polysynthetic material that's used for these carrying cases. But I will say that it makes this a nice little value add, because when you put this back into the carrying case, presuming you're not going to be using it for a short period of time, you know, I think I've got it upside down. So therein is the first lesson. Wheels on the outside of the bag and lead into the bag with the dolly, and sure enough, there you go. And you can see by the formation of the top here, the bigger top area is what is going to accommodate the wheel assembly. Let me just close that right there. So there it is in the case, and I thought that was pretty cool. I like that quite a bit. And you know, when I took it out of the box, I was absolutely impressed with the weight of this thing. I somewhat anticipated plastic. I don't know why. That wouldn't have been appropriate anyway. Well, here's the silicone packet. And let me put, you know what, I'm going to put the storage bag down here. So here is how it comes out of the package. You'll note that right up in front center, there's the nameplate for the unit. And if you look, it's got right about in the center of the unit a Velcro strap. I'm going to undo that, okay. And now I'm going to undo this thing. Frankly, I have not opened it up yet. So I can see already, and let me back off on the zoom a bit so you can see this. It basically opens up, and the legs, these two legs lock in place, so you've got two rotating legs that come out and lock. There's the handle, and then of course here's the third leg. Let me just explore this a little more. Now this is what I call intuitive exploration. It appears that each leg is extendable, okay, and they've even marked, if you take a close look here, you can see that they've marked the legs so that if you have a preset for a specific tripod or application, you can replicate that by just writing down your settings. I'm going to push it all the way back in because frankly I want to look at this. It's going to be a little unwieldy. It's pretty obvious right here, and you know, black on black it's going to be hard to see some of these features, but let me see if I can. If I hold it correctly and I'm looking at the monitor, I can make sure. And let me get this Velcro. I can see already this Velcro is, when it's undone, by the way, the strap, I just roll it on itself and get it out of the way. So let's take a look at the leg assembly. First of all, you've got a lock mechanism for the wheel. The wheel is locked right now. I'm going to pull up, and there the wheel is released. Again, if I pull down, and this looks like it's spring-loaded. I've never done this before. You're seeing it first time. It not only locks the wheel from turning, rotating, I should say, the wheel rotating, but it also literally locks it in position as far as it would be rotating like so. So there you go. That's part of the locking system, and that's pretty cool. And then the other thing which I immediately saw, these are the adjusting rods such that your tripod leg comes in here at an angle, okay? Comes in at an angle, and then you can tighten down on it. So, I mean, how much does it really take to understand this thing? It's so simple and obvious. I like this. When I got it in, just because of the weight, I was impressed. These two red, these are the release units here. Again, this is good because you're seeing me discover it as I go along. You pull out on these red tabs, and that's what releases the legs to bring them back down to the lock position. Okay, so, and there you go, and then they lock in place. I don't know how much more there is to talk about. I'm anxious to get this downstairs to my shop area. I keep another tripod system downstairs. If I've got something I'm reviewing downstairs in the garage area and the shop area, I can just quickly, take one of my cell phones down there and immediately start shooting for a review or whatever I'm doing. Now, one of the reasons I was really attracted to this dolly was because in the garage I have cement floors, and I go from cement to some carpeting and then back to cement and hard flooring. So these wheels, although they are reasonably small, and I'm a huge proponent in large wheels on my my traveling suitcase gear, it would be nice to have even bigger wheels, but for the hardwood floors that I generally work on, or whether I'm on a sidewalk or an asphalt street, I think this is going to be just perfect. I like it, and believe me, at $40, my opinion is it is a good value, a very good value. I just can't believe, as well as it's manufactured and put together, if they can hold that vendor discount, it's an incredibly good value. Even if it's sold for the vendor's price of $50, I would still say it's a contender. If you're looking to acquire a roller dolly I hope that's not redundant for your tripods, or a tripod. Like for me, this is going to be a dedicated unit that's going downstairs on that tripod I use for outdoor work when I'm near the shop, near the studio area, etc. So for me, it's 5 stars. I really recommend it. And of course, if you don't like it, Amazon's great, as you know, about supporting you for considering a return, etc.